ng administrasyon. Yung po ba mga project na to, paano po ba ang siste dyan kapag pag-uusapan na yung financing po? Kasi of course, sa mga tunay na nakakaintindi naman, yung pangungutang wala nang problema yan. Pero para po maintindihan ng mga nanonood sa atin, nabaon daw po tayo sa utang dahil dito sa panahon ng Duterte administration.
Una ho, okay na parami yung utang. Yung utang ho ay kinakailangan yan. Hindi naman ho tayo nangungutang para igarahe lang yung pera. Nangungutang tayo para magkaroon tayo ng mga proyekto kagaya ng subway. Halimbawa yung subway, yung pangungutang natin sa JICA, ito ho is under what we call preferred financial arrangement. Ang babayaran mo dyan, 0.001% interest. Meron kang grace period na kung ilang taon, mga 14 years. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka magbabayad dyan hanggang until after 14 years. Talagang yung conveniente nandiyan dyan, nasusubukan mo na yung conveniente ng proyekto bago ka magbayad ng utang. Yung pangungutang ho, per se ay hindi masama. Kung may paglalaanan kang proyekto para sa nakakarami at benepisyo ng nakakarami. Ang sinasabi ho natin, yung pangungutang sa ginawa upang magkaroon ng golden age of infrastructure ay tama lang, sakto lang, pagkat ito'y pakinabang sa buong sambayanan.
So hindi tayo magbabayad, Secretary, hanggat hindi nagagamit ng mga Pilipino yung project?
Oo, may grace period nga ho. 12 years yata yun, o 14 years. Don't hold me to that. Biro mo yun. Pag napakinabang na yan, doon ka magbabayad. Hindi ba lamang na lamang ka dyan?
Yung po mga build projects ng DOTR, ang karaniwan po niyan, ganyan po yung klase ng financing yan?
Opo. Makakaiba lang ng konti yung bahagya, yung mga interest. Pero tignan nyo, yung financing ho niyan nanggaling sa ADB, na sa World Bank, na sa JICA. Ito ho, samot-saring mga international financing corporation ang nakikiisa sa pagpapautang sa atin. Bakit tayo pinapautang? Una ho, naniniwala sila sa proyekto. Pangalawa, naniniwala sila at trustworthy yung transactions ng ating pamahalaan at gobyerno sa mga proyektong ito.
This is the future of the railway sector. This is a glimpse of the future of a more progressive Philippines.
Join us in riding the tunnel boring machine and riding the first Philippine Metro Subway because ito ho ay paglakbay papunta sa kaunlaran.
When the Duterte administration started in July 2016, the Metro Manila Subway project did not have a completed feasibility study. It did not have NEDA board approval. It did not have any financing. And it did not have any contract to speak of. Despite a subway having been first proposed as early as the 1973 Urban Transport Master Plan for Metro Manila. Remarkably, for almost 5 decades and 6 administrations, the dream of the Filipino people for a convenient, high-capacity, underground mass transport system that is on a par with the most progressive cities of the world remained the plan, remained the drawing, and remained all talk. It was not until the Build, Build, Build program of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, under the strong-willed leadership of DOTR Secretary Artugade, that what has been elusive for so long is finally becoming a reality, with back-to-back milestones being realized in just the last 6 years. In September 2017, the 488.48 billion Metro Manila Subway project received investment approval from the NEDA board, paving the way to financing in the form of an official development assistance, or ODA, from the government of Japan, becoming available through a JICA loan agreement signed in March 2018. A few months later, in November 2018, the contract for the general consultant of the project was awarded to the OC Global Joint Venture. In 2019, the DOTR awarded the design and build civil works contract for the project's partial operability section to the Shimizu Fujita Takenaka EEI joint venture, which is what we will be seeing in today's inspection, starting in this 30-hectare depot. In 2020 and 2021, despite the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, again, back-to-back major milestones were realized despite all odds, including the award of the 27 billion contract for 240 subway train cars to the JTREC Sumitomo joint venture in December 2020, the award of the 66 billion contract for the subway's electromechanical systems to Mitsubishi Corporation in October 2021, the arrival of the subway's first 2 out of 25 tunnel boring machines in February 2021, the successful and no forced eviction of 183 informal settler families in coordination with the local government of Valenzuela City, the acquisition of 197,000 square meters of land and 585 structures from 324 property owners to date, the ongoing manufacturing of precast concrete tunnel rings at our 7.5-hectare fabrication yard in Norzagaray, Bulacan, which to date has completed 576 out of 6,400 tunnel rings that will be used for the partial operability segment, all in all leading to an overall project completion rate of 30.55% for the Metro Manila Subway project as of February 2022. Delivering the Philippines' first subway is not a one-agency affair. The fast and sure implementation of the MMSP requires an all-of-government approach, and one of DOTR's most wide-ranging partnerships for the Metro Manila Subway project is the partnership with the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, whose most distinguished secretary, Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, is joining our inspection today. In December 2020, DND and DOTR signed a right-of-way usage agreement pursuant to which DND AFP is providing 50,000 square meters of its land for the subway's station works, an additional 60,000 square meters of land for interstation tunneling works, and an additional 55,000 square meters for temporary works. This is located at 5 DND AFP facilities, namely the AFP Medical Center, formerly known as the V. Luna Hospital, Camp Aguinaldo, Fort Bonifacio, Villamor Air Base, and the Veterans Memorial Medical Center and Golf Course, which is part of our inspection today. This will be used for 5 subway stations: the North Avenue Station, the East Avenue Station, the Camp Aguinaldo Station, the Lawton Station, and the Senate DepEd Station. This partnership, forged between the DND AFP and DOTR under the leadership of Secretary Lorenzana and Secretary Tugade, will not only enable DOTR to fast-track its access to construction and work sites needed for the subway, but it will also give the DND and the armed forces a fair and recurring source of resources for the betterment and upliftment of our heroes in the armed forces. In the short term, DOTR will replicate affected DND AFP structures and facilities, including the construction of 192 units of armed forces housing in Camp Aguinaldo, and the replication and improvement of affected facilities at the Veterans Golf Course. In the short to long term, DOTR will pay DND AFP a recurring annual use-of-rock fee of 10% of the latest zonal value of all of these properties, and 5% of gross non-fare box revenue of the concerned subway stations upon start of operations, which are further to Secretary Tucade's direction to not only ensure that the subway is developed in a manner that maximizes connectivity to government properties, but para na din po masigurado na ang investment natin sa kauna-unahan nating subway ay may balik at pakinabang sa ating kasundaluhan. With today's inspection of the Metro Manila Subway project, we are showing how decades of plan, decades of drawing, and decades of talk have changed to build. Following President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's promise to usher in the golden age of infrastructure and to deliver a more comfortable life to every Filipino.